If we're lucky, and most of us are, we have at least a few days like this stored in our memories. A carefree mixture of fun and relaxation, a little exploring, a lot of laughter, often shared with friends. The specific activities aren't really all that important. What's important is that it's a day of play. Try to define play. It's not that easy, although we all seem to know it when we're doing it. Maybe that's the point. Maybe play is a state of mind. Anything that's fun is play. But it turns out that play is about much more than that. Play fills some very important and perhaps unexpected roles in our lives. It connects us to other people. It can be a healer, and no matter how we play, it taps into our deepest and most personal feelings. In fact, it's often when we're playing that we feel most alive. And as we'll see in the next hour, play has a powerful impact on learning and development. Without play, we don't learn as well. We become less imaginative, less creative, and eventually less productive human beings. In fact, play is so important in so many aspects of our lives that you could say it's a very serious matter indeed, which of course would take all the fun out of it, and then it wouldn't be play. At the start of life, play comes easily. It's as natural as eating or sleeping, whether you're a polar bear or an impala. Like most mammals, we seem to be hardwired to be able to play whenever presented with the opportunity. Indeed, the more evolved the species, the greater the possibilities for play.
Play is clearly an evolutionary tool. It seems to have come in at the time we shifted from the reptile world into a mammal world, which was a shift of much greater complexity, of much greater intelligence, etc. Play came in with intelligence and brain size, we know that. It would be surprising if it had nothing to do with the evolution of mankind and of culture.
The more complex the brain, the more variation in play there is. Most mammals have some kind of play, but when you get to the monkeys, or in birds, if you get to the birds of prey with big brains, then you find more variation in play.
For decades, Jane Goodall has been observing animal play in the wild. Anyone who lives near a good zoo that cares for its animals can see the same phenomenon. This is the Taronga Zoo in Sydney, Australia. Here, there's no need to forage for food or to be on 24-hour alert for predators, so there's more time for play. Animals, like humans, need to be healthy, safe, and well-fed before they can think about playing.
Young chimps who have the supportive family so that they really are in a protected environment do tend to be more playful, more outgoing. I mean, the more outgoing you are, the better your physical health is, the more freedom you have to play.
At first glance, play appears to serve no immediate purpose for these animals. Eating is purposeful, so is mating, fighting, or defending territory. All are important for survival. So what purpose does play serve? At one level, it's play for play's sake. It's a spontaneous, anxiety-free activity without any clear-cut goal. It lets us enjoy ourselves. It keeps us happy.
the youngsters, I mean, because they are young, it is a way of expending energy as well. They've got all this excess energy from being young.
Lou Grossfeld has been a zookeeper at Taronga for 9 years, working with the primates.
They're very much like human children, and that's the fact that they want to do things, you know, explore their environment, see what's going on around them, play up, muck around, push the other adults as far as they can, see what they can get away with, take food, the works.
I think if you want to look for an evolutionary explanation, then all this playing is giving the youngster practice. They're learning through practice. Young animals practice in play the kind of skills that they need to become adult. So I think play is tremendously important in normal development of all animals that are social.
Animals and humans have an elaborate set of signals that are connected to play, body language and facial expressions that say, let's have some fun.
A play face is usually easily identified by the whole mouth being sort of exposed. The top lip will actually cover probably the top part of the teeth like that. That's very much a play face. Usually if the whole face is sort of like that, then that's a fear grin. So that's letting another member of the group know that I'm scared about something. So a play face is very distinctive from a fear grin. Getting that?
A play face says, this isn't real, I'm just pretending. Play signals are so clear that they can even be recognized by a different species.
Young chimps playing are so like young humans playing that you know it's play. Everybody agrees as to when animals are playing.
Whatever the species, play can also strengthen emotional bonds between individuals. It starts soon after birth between mothers and children.
Play, of course, is just part of mothering. But in general, mothers who are playful and affectionate and supportive raise offspring who tend to become high-ranking, assertive, have a good reproductive advantage, particularly the females. Whereas mothers who are cold, and that is very marked by a lack of play, they tend to raise youngsters who are much less extroverted, are not likely to go on and become high-ranking, and so they will have definitely less hope of reproductive success.
So play not only makes life fun, it prepares youngsters for what's ahead, no matter what kind of youngsters they are. For our children, too, play brings pleasure, promotes bonding, encourages experiment, enhances learning. Research shows that most of the neural development we need in order to learn happens in the first 3 years of life. Research also shows that to optimize that development, children need play.
Little pig, let me in. Hey, Mommy, I'm leaving now. I'm gonna go make a fortune. Yes.
In the early years, learning is hard to distinguish from play. A story is both a learning experience and a romp through the realms of the imagination.
The 3 little pigs decided to go out.
Fantasy is the play life of the mind.
Bye, Mom. Bye, Mommy. Let me in, or I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down. And the little pig said, oh no, I won't let you in. Not by the hair of my chitty chin chin.
As children grow, play helps them both to discover the real world and imagine 1,000 others. To the untrained eye, preschool play looks random. Little kids just goofing around. But serious learning needs to happen at this stage of life. Everything from colors and numbers to how to behave in a group. Of course, the kids are just doing what comes naturally.
Children need to play because it's a vital life activity. It's almost like it's something from their very being that calls them to go out and be active and play. It's the predominantly preferred activity of childhood.
Alice Meckley has made the study of child's play her life's work. By observing play patterns in a preschool attached to Millersville University, she discovers the psychology of each individual child.
To look at a child's play is really to look at who the child is. And the play tells me where they are in their physical development, their social development, their cognitive development. It's like a road map. Everything is right there in front of me, and if you can read the road map, you can know a tremendous amount about that child.
For children, play is a progression. They start out as lone observers looking around, figuring out what's going on. They need to learn the rules before plunging in. Gradually, they learn the politics of play by doing it, interacting with their peers.
A 3-year-old becomes more interested in other children, and they want to talk to other children, but they often wait, or they'll only have one favorite playmate that they will interact with, and will be cautious about interacting with large groups. Although by 3.5 and 4, you find children able to manage play with many more children. And then by 4 and 5, there's a tremendous amount of activity, energy, planning, cooperation, negotiation, disagreement, fighting, and then problem solving and conflict resolution. Those things are all needed as an adult.
Mine can turn into anything.
One of the most important aspects of human play is fantasy. Let's pretend. This is a pile of building blocks to us, the observer, but to a youngster, it's a microphone, and in his hands, a guitar. Soon, whole stories and scenarios emerge.
Somebody stole our money! Somebody stole our money! No! Do not steal our money! Please no! Please no! Somebody just stole our money!
Probably the most important characteristic of play is the pretend quality. The part of play that says, this isn't real, but it's like real. I'm pretending. I know what this is about, but I'm just pretending. Children have fantasy worlds, and you wonder what's going on in their minds. But what is occurring is the imagination of the child creates possibilities. And so they take what's real, but they go to the nth degree in terms of the possibilities of that reality, and explore it. What we find is that children that are more imaginative are better players.
Children often fear the unknown, and yet they also crave new adventures. Play allows them to control their fear and turn it into excitement. That transformation is part of the learning process.
Children think differently than we do. They absorb life about them in a different way that we do. So it's very hard for an adult to teach a child to play, because then the play becomes the adult's and not the child. For play to truly be useful, the child must invent it, and they must create, and it must be part of them. But the best thing to do is allow the child to create the invention himself, and they'll go.